Are you making this money mistake in your 20s that will cost you hundreds of thousands later on? Some people are, and they don't even know it. Your 20s is the most important decade for money, and one wrong move can ruin your finances for the coming decade. These are the mistakes I would avoid if I were you. Number one, buying a house too early and becoming house poor. For some reason, house ownership is heavily romanticized, especially online. People make it seem like if you don't have a house by the time you're 25, you're a failure. That's nonsense. Buying a house you can barely afford will lock you into mortgage plans, high maintenance costs, property taxes, and repairs you did not plan for. The moment you buy a house, I want you to realize that you've become the landlord and the property manager. If your repair needs to be done or something goes bad, you have no one to call. That's all on you. Do you know the cost of a toilet, the cost of plumbing? If there's a water damage, that's all on you. There's no landlord to come fix those things for you. It's all on you now. And those are some of the things that people fail to factor in when they're talking about house ownership. So yes, you own a house, but now you're stressed, you're broke, you can't even invest, you can't save, you can't travel, you can't have fun, all because you have a house. That's called being house poor. So how do you fix this? Buy what fits your income and your lifestyle. Usually, if you want to buy a house, the bank might, based on your income, approve you for something high. Let's say, for instance, you earn something like 150,000. They might approve you for like a mortgage of, let's say, 900 to $1 million. That does not mean you should go for that high mortgage. Buy what fits your income. When buying a house, you should factor in the fact that at the end of the month, when you're done paying the mortgage, you still have money to invest, money to hang out, to travel, to save, to hang out with friends and all that. Those are the things you need to consider before you buy a house. That is, make sure you can still save, invest, and enjoy your life after buying that house. Renting does not make you a failure, but being financially trapped in a house is actually where the failure comes in. Number two, choosing degrees based off of passion and not market reality. Follow your passion sounds cute until the job market doesn't care for you. Time for college is not the time for you to start thinking about your passion or the thing that you like doing the most. I want you to be realistic. Most passions don't pay. Listen, I'm not trying to say that passion is useless, but passion without economic demand will lead to long-term financial stress. Most people in their 20s go on to start a job with low employability, and when you're done, you have student loans but no job. So while passion is cute, I want you to be realistic when going for a degree. Go for something that you will find a job after doing. Your passion should be a side project, not your primary survival plan. And the problem is, by the time you're done studying for this and realize there's no job, guess what's going to happen? You need to go back to college again to study another degree. And what does that mean? You now have two separate student loans to pay because you didn't choose well the first time. So how do you fix this? Before you choose a degree, I want you to do a market research. What job pays well? Are there jobs that pay well, that can pair well with your passion? Don't go in blindly into choosing a degree simply because you like the way it sounds. Do your research and find out if you have employability after studying that degree. Number three, and this is hardly talked about, your 20s isn't just about personal goals. It's also the time that you lay down the foundation for your long-term financial plan or financial stability. One of the biggest mistakes you will make in your 20s is to marry someone whose financial habit clashes with yours, because the way they treat their money is how they will treat yours as well. If your partner has debt, that debt becomes yours as well. If they don't know how to manage money, they won't know how to manage yours too. If you guys have different philosophies around money, that will be a source of constant stress to you, and you may end up compromising your financial goals just to fit theirs. And let's not forget, divorce and separation can financially wreck you. I want you to learn this. No matter how much you love someone, poor financial alignment will always ruin that love. Nothing ruins love faster than a partner that puts you in financial jeopardy or someone that ruins your finances. So how do you fix this? I want you to have honest and open conversations around finances before you get down with someone. Discuss their spending habits, their saving goals, their debt, and long-term plans that they have, such as buying a house, kids, or investing. Make sure you align financially. Love is not enough. The next one is making friends who are way richer than you and trying to keep up with them. This one is sneaky but very common. When you go to college, you'll meet people from different backgrounds. You'll meet the very poor and the very rich. You will meet those that work their way through college, and you'll meet those that have families who bankroll them. The problem is not making friends with rich people. The problem is making friends with them and then trying to keep up with their lifestyle. If you make friends with people who like to travel all the time, who like to eat out, who like to wear expensive brands, or even those being funded by their family, there's going to be the temptation to want to keep up with them. I need you to resist that. Learn to say, I can't afford that right now, without shame. Remember, comparison is the fastest way to stay broke. Your 20s are for building wealth, not performing like you have one. Live way below your means and let your account grow. If you make friends with rich people, learn to say no to them without shame. Learn to say, I can't afford that thing right now. I would love to go, but I can't. And if they start shaming you for that, please cut them off. That's the last thing you want, because if you go broke, they won't save you. But if they go broke, their family is there to save them. Next in line is keeping up with the Joneses, especially online. Social media is a highlight reel, not the full picture. People love to flex their vacation, the luxury lifestyle, the cars and all, but you don't see the bank account. You don't see the credit card debt. You don't see the loans, the financial anxiety, and even more importantly, you don't see the family bankrolling them. Yes, some of them have family money. Trying to keep up with someone else's lifestyle is a guaranteed way to sabotage your future. Everyone looks rich online because you can't see the background. Some of the items they post are borrowed, given to them by friends or by family. So why would you want to keep up with such people? I want you to mute, block, unfollow people that make you think that you're not doing enough financially. Even sometimes online, I've seen people try to shame others for like using old model of cars or not wearing designers or not traveling all the time. time. Please learn to tune out that noise. That's the last thing you want in your ear. You need to build a lifestyle that makes sense for your income. The next one is abusing buy now pay later platforms like Afterpay, Klarna, and the rest of them. Buy now pay later is not evil. What's evil is how casually it's used. Buy now pay later platforms have a way of making expensive purchases seem small, because now instead of paying one buck money, you are kind of splitting it into 4 or more. So something that costs $100 in your mind costs $25 because you're paying 25 at a time. And also they get you with the no interest, so you feel like you're not losing by using their platforms. Like I said, I have nothing against buy now pay letters. In fact, I think that sometimes they make sense for some purchases and they will come in handy for some purchases. All I'm saying is how you use it might be the problem. Buying one thing might not be a problem. The problem is by the time you're done buying like multiple things and now you have a stack of payment that needs to be made, and before you know it, you already spent your next paycheck before you even land. So you're working today to pay for the things you consumed yesterday. The dangers of buy now pay later platforms is psychological. For one, it disconnects you from the true cost of an item. It encourages impulse buying, and most dangerous of all, it normalizes you living on future incomes. You're already spending the money you've not made yet. Most people don't realize how bad it is until all the installment payments hit at the same time, and suddenly that $20 is now $400 a month. Buy now pay later platforms make sense if you already have the full money saved and you're only trying to space out for cash flow, not affordability. And also if it's a planned purchase and not an emotional spending. If you use them the right way, it's a tool, not a trap. The problem is when you start using the buy now pay later platforms to pay for basic necessities or to keep up with trends, aesthetic, and validation from people, because now missing one paycheck is chaos for you. I want you to treat these platforms as a credit card, not free money, and limit yourself to having only one plan at a time. And don't forget to do an audit of all the things you've bought so far to see how well you are doing with your money. This kind of mistake does not look irresponsible at first. It looks convenient and harmless, but the thing is, it affects your future income, and that's a problem. The next mistake is confusing saving money with DIYing everything. There's this very popular idea online that the smart way to save money is by making everything at home. You know, cook your own food at home, make your own coffee at home, do everything at home. But real life is more nuanced than that. As a single person, buying in bulk can actually cost you more money. The food might expire, you might waste the ingredients, or you might even buy varieties that you don't need. In that case, buying already cooked meal or buying in smaller portions might actually save you more money than buying in bulk. Let's say for instance, there is this popular debate about buying coffee online, and people are like, if you make your own coffee at home, you don't have to spend all that money buying coffee outside. Let's break it down. In order for you to get a very good coffee machine, we are talking about $500 for a good coffee machine. And then let's factor in the cost of buying the bean, and then you have to buy the grinder and other things needed for making the coffee, the cups, the mugs, and all that. And let's not forget the time spent learning, prepping, or cleaning up, because personally, I see time as money. Time is money. So if you're buying coffee like occasionally or for convenience, that's not you spending recklessly. It's you paying for time and ease. Like I said, time is money. Money mistake isn't just about cash, it's also about how you spend your time and energy. So if cooking, prepping, and cleaning exhaust you, take away the time from work and rest, or even lead to burnout or more impulse buying later, then outsourcing some things might actually be a smarter financial decision. So the problem is not that you buy food or coffee outside, it's you spending without intention. So if you're buying convenience but still saving, you're staying within budgets, then you're not bad with money, you are being realistic with money. Money is meant to buy convenience for you. The next one is not tracking where your money goes. If you're the type to spend aimlessly without really calculating where your money is going, you don't know the money you spend on subscriptions, on grocery, on food deliveries, or impulse purchases, that's a big problem. Start tracking the movement of money from your account. Every single cent that leaves your account, you should know where it's going. You can use Google Sheets or a budgeting app. Awareness alone will shock you into better habits. The moment you see where your money is going, you get the motivation to do better. The next one is not having emergency savings. It's called an emergency because you don't know when it's going to happen. Life can happen to you. Always have about 3 to 6 months of your basic expenses saved at any point in time. People lose their job, people have accidents, things can happen that you did not plan for. Always have an emergency fund, and don't think this is for rich people only. Emergency funds also gives you peace of mind, because now you know that should anything happen to you, you are okay for the next 3 to 6 months. You don't want to become homeless the moment you miss one paycheck. The next thing is not investing because I don't understand it. YouTube is a whole university of its own. Any information that you need on investing, you will find it on YouTube. Take advantage of the resources at your fingertips. In fact, investing has never been easier. We have so much information and apps at our beck and call. Investing doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes when I ask people like why they don't have investment, it's because they think it's all mathematics and they don't understand it. They think maths is so confusing. Do you know what's even more confusing than that? Not having money when you need it. You can start small. You don't have to wait until you start any huge to start investing. Even the small $100, $200 here and there will compound over time. Don't wait until you get into your 30s and 40s to start saving. Start now to save and invest. The next one is depending on one source of income. Relying on one paycheck or a single source of income is risky. Companies don't owe you loyalty. Relying on one paycheck means if anything happens to this company, you go down with it. It means if that income disappears, your life pauses as well. Please find a way to build additional income streams. Even your investments can be a source of income. If you're in your 20s, I advise that you diversify your portfolio. Don't make money from only one single source of income. Try to find multiples of them. The next one is letting lifestyle inflation eat every increase you get in your finances. For some people, they believe that the more their income rises, the more they need to spend. So if they lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, the moment their income doubles, they feel like that means I need to move into a 2-bedroom apartment. Perhaps they were living like in a house before. The moment the income grows, they feel like they need to move into the luxury apartments. You feel like you need to buy a new car, you need to upgrade your wardrobe, you need to travel to like more expensive destinations. The problem is, even with a higher salary, you will still stay broke. Whenever your income increases, I want you to save more and invest more. Don't only spend more. Even if you want to upgrade your lifestyle, upgrade intentionally. That is, pay yourself before you start upgrading your lifestyle. The next dangerous mistake I see people making is mixing money with emotion. In your 20s, once you start making money, more people will feel entitled to that money, or some people will start seeing you as a bank. Don't make the mistake of thinking that loving someone or loving some people means that you need to bail them out anytime they have any financial crisis. Stop giving out or lending money you can't afford to lose. Learn how to set boundaries with your friends and family. You're not a bank. Learn how to say no to lending money to everyone and their mom. Your peace of mind is worth more than their approval or their validation. The next one is thinking you have enough time to fix it. For some reason, I feel like in your 20s, time feels so endless. It's like, I have time, I have all the time in the world to fix it or to correct any mistake I've made. This is the most dangerous of them all, because your 20s is when you set the foundation for how you handle money. The way you handle money in your 20s will shape how you handle money in your 30s. Bad habits will compound just like the good ones compound. You don't need to be rich or have it all figured out in your 20s, but you need to be intentional about how you spend your money. Learn to build systems around money. Don't spend like the world is ending, and don't spend thinking that, you know what, I'm just going to pick up an extra shift in order to make back that money. Build clear systems on how you handle money, and your future self will thank you for that. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something new from it. If so, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.